Alright, I want to welcome you guys back to the WordPress series. In this series I want to talk about how comments are left and how comments are approved and then how they appear. Okay, so we're going to be talking about commenting. Alright, so here's my WordPress blog. Okay, I'm just at, this would be, say for instance, as a student would arrive here and you'd want them to review content, whether it be a video or a post, and then make some kind of response on that same content. Okay, so I'm not logged in. Obviously I'm pretending I'm a student right now, and let's say I just got done watching this video and now I want to leave a post for my instructor. Well, this one's pretty easy because you can see this is where I would leave comments, and you can see no comments have been approved yet. It's a 0. Okay, so I'm like, alright, I'm the first student here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this area. Now, depending on the theme you picked, there might be a different location in there for where you would click to leave comments, but there's always some place for you to leave a comment. So you have to, sometimes it doesn't look the same on every theme. So I'm going to go ahead and click on there. Okay, so I'm ready to leave a comment. I'm going to say, this video was great, and then whatever else might be said. Now, I'm going to have to come down here. Remember, I'm just a student. Okay, you don't have students. I don't have to have login to do this or anything. They can just do it like this. Okay, the email. They can actually. It says it's required. See, it's required. It could actually be a made-up email. It doesn't have to be a real email. But I'm going to just say rob@hotmail.com. My name is required. I wouldn't know if you put your real name or not. I'm going to put Rob, and then you don't need to leave. This would be your if you have your own website. If you wanted to leave that, this one is not required. And then they have options to, if there's a follow-up comment or anything, that they could be emailed. As long as they put in their correct email, they would get that back as well. I'm going to say post comment. It says it's posting, and there we go. Oh wait, it still says 0. The reason it says 0 is because the administrator of the blog has it set, remember we did this, that only the administrator can approve the comments that will show up. So even I could leave 100 comments, there could be 1,000 comments left here, but until the administrator goes in and approves those comments, they don't get seen. Alright, so how exactly do we do that? That's a great question. You're going to go over here to log in. Okay, now we're not the student now. We're pretending that I'm the instructor now, and I want to check out the comments that people have been leaving for the assignment I've given. So I go log in, put in my username and password. Okay, so you can see here, now that we're on the dashboard, that we have on the comments, it says 1. If I come down here, you can see that I have 1 pending and actually 1 in spam. So that means there's actually 2 comments. Right there it says 2 comments. So let's check out the one that's in spam first. The one that it thinks is in spam, or one that is in spam, it says this video was great, and it was at rob@hotmail.com. Now what this is the IP address of the computer that sent in the comment. Okay, and this what it has done is it flagged that email address because it's suspicious that that's not a real email address, that it's potentially spam. So we're going to pretend that it's not spam. So I'm going to say not spam, and then what that does is I go back to comments. You see now I have 2 comments. So in our little example, I should have used a little bit better fake email than I did because it sniffed it out and knew that it was trouble. Oh well, look at this. 216-207-1892, and oh, the same computer made both these comments. It's because I did them both as an example. So now that's going to become important later, and I'll tell you why. Alright, so here we have oh wow, this is a great comment. This video was great. Oh wow. As a teacher or instructor, let's say that's a comment that I'm good with. I'll say I approve it. Okay, so now if I go back to the blog site, we have 1 approved comment. Look at that. Now if I click on it, it's actually, people would be able to see, oh, this video was great. So as other students come to the blog site, they can see then the approved comments of the people that were there before them. Pretty neat. Alright, so then I'm going to go back to the dashboard and pick up where I left off here. So we still have another comment here to deal with. So I'm going to click on comments again. Alright, so this one, now remember, just in WordPress, as you flash over the tools, you can see. So now I can still unapprove this comment. You can tell that I've already approved it because I can unapprove it, or I could trash it. Okay. Now, so this is my bad guy example when someone's being nasty on the site. Nobody has seen this yet unless I say approve, which of course I'm not going to approve this one. And if this was actually, a real poor comment that I got on my site, you can just send it to spam, or you could say trash, and that's usually what I do. I just say trash, and now that's gone. Okay, I could always bring it back if I wanted to. I could undo it, but I'm not going to do that. All right, now remember back to the IP address and the email. Remember I told you about, I think it's under discussion. Yeah, under the discussions, if you get people that are students, or people are pranking you, if you are using it in class, you might have some of that. I think teachers overly worry about it because you're usually just doing it with your group of students. So and you may only be doing it with 1 or 2 periods of students at a time. So typically you're not going to get too much labor in this. But if somebody is sending nasty emails, you can copy and paste that IP address. So you can do it by IP or by email, and then when you say save down here, that particular IP address of the prank or person that's being a pain with your comments, or with the comments that they're leaving, you put that in the blacklist thing, and you say approve, or say save changes. You won't even have to unapprove those anymore. They'll just automatically not show up. So here's how you can catch kids that are screwing around with you. If they send a few and you blacklist them, and then maybe you have an assignment, hey, everybody needs to respond, and Johnny says, hey, I've responded to that 3 times and it's not showing up. Why isn't it showing up? You might have a pretty good idea who's been leaving the nasty comments behind, right? If you could always match that IP address up, so they're not going to think about that. So if they're at their computer at home and they leave a nasty one, and they don't put the real name or email obviously along with it because they don't want to get caught, and you kind of keep that IP address in mind. You don't approve that comment, but you have that IP address. Next time Johnny has to reply, or maybe he's replied earlier, you can look for that IP address for that particular computer, and you'd have a match with who actually left it. But don't tell them that. See who you can catch. All right. So anyway, again, I don't think you're going to have, you don't typically have a lot of trouble with that, because most kids aren't going to go through that much trouble, especially if their comments never show up, because then they don't get any gratification out of, oh, I got the teacher upset, or I got some other student in the class upset because the comment never appeared, because you ultimately, as the instructor, approve or unapprove a comment or trash the comment. Okay, so you have a lot of power here, and it's very pretty safe to control, and it's very safe to use in a school environment as long as you take the settings and use them the way that I've shown you in the videos. Okay, if you have any questions on WordPress, please don't be afraid to let me know.